that I am stranded here in Paris. I have spent but my last dollar away. Please let them know they do not scare us with their billionaire agendas. I have traveled here to try to find a way. I do believe that art can heal us, and though they cannot hear us, they'll be hearing from us all so very soon. And they can blame it on the migrants while they themselves they turn to tyrants. But a king will gladly sacrifice his pawn. There are cigarettes in Paris that I'm smoking 'cause I can, and I've been smoking them all day and not as long. The only thing that keeps me from the madness are these cigarettes in Paris. I'll be smoking them till I can't smoke them no more. And if she tells me that she loves me and puts nothing else above it, then how am I supposed to take my ass back home? Oh no, oh no, no. I smoke these cigarettes now. Now please don't tell my parents there were more than just cigarettes in Paris. I've been smoking them all day and not as long. The only thing that keeps me from the madness are these cigarettes in Paris. I'll be smoking them till I can't smoke no more. But my last dollar away. All I want to do is write. Like, the songs are just like, I've been telling people a lot, like, the music is a crutch. Because, like, I wish that I could just write without the guitar, but for me, I've just always felt better with the guitar. But I would hope that someday, like, I wouldn't need it, you know? Like, when I came to Paris last year, like, I didn't bring the guitar, you know? But I wrote songs. And I was like, oh, this is a beautiful thing. I can hear them. They come, like, in this more magical way of just, like, I hear the words, you know? And not all of it is music. I think the problem is, like, revisiting it. Like, music's an easy thing to revisit, because you can just play it. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, all these notebooks are scattered around my bookshelf and stuff, and I very rarely open them up, you know? But sometimes I do, and then I'm like, ooh, I remember how that felt.
Nice. So, and can you share a little bit about the story behind this place and, like, those songs that you just played and Paris associated with
Peach.
With all this?
Yeah, I got off I took the train from London, and I was visiting London for a couple days, and it was while we were kind of recording the record. I was in London for another reason, and I just had told everyone that I was going to finish writing the record here, so I just kind of came with a notebook, and I just thought I'd kind of mind my business and kind of write songs and sit in a cafe, and it was like farthest thing from what had happened. Like, I got off the train, put my luggage in a cafe down the road, never checked into my hotel, and ended up, like, you know, sleeping here and just, like, living it up and feeling a lot of the things that music had given me, just, like, through life, you know, which was nice. And sometimes I don't feel like I feel that same community back home in a way that I did here. And maybe I'm not looking in the right places, And maybe it's just because like when you're from someplace you act a certain way, and I think that I fall victim to that. But here it just seems more free to be like who I want to be. And that was the first time that I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh, I feel like an artist, you know. It took me a really long time to feel that way. I felt like that would be really pretentious for me to say for a long time, you know. Like maybe you don't have to like make something so, you know, maybe it doesn't have to be like, somebody doesn't have to anoint you. Maybe you anoint yourself in this world, and maybe like you'll be a lot more free once you do. And I think I felt that here, and PJ really embraced me in a way, like where he heard a lot of the demos and was like, it meant a lot to communicate with people that didn't know me, and I had no real way of communicating. I mean, so many people here like didn't even speak English, and they were like hugging me and kissing me and like loving the songs, and I just didn't. It was hard for me to understand, but they were just kind of like telling me, oh, we understand based off like the feeling that you evoke when you sing. And like I had this one song at the studio I really wanted to cry when I recorded it. It's called "Cry a Little," and the producer didn't let me cry. He cut me off. And I wrestled with that for a long time.
PJ let you cry though.
Yeah, PJ let me cry, and I was like, you know what? I needed that. One, two. The seasons change out of the blue, like friends you had before you knew. They simply can't see the truth of every light I see in you. And as the world is falling down, I'm reminded not all find higher ground. I pause to take a look around and realize that I found it now. But there's children dying in the east. They are victims of imperial greed, and history can't exist absent of me. It strung my guitar and forced me to speak. So hear me now. My voice blends in with a larger crowd that has not died out by now, despite the cries of a Zionist crowd. And maybe one day I too will die for words I spoke or songs I'd write. Before I walk into the long dark night, my last words read, at least I tried. I will work and earn my keep. I'll listen to the president speak as bodies pile up in the east and donors oppress our student speech. Now can you tell me which is evil? A boy writing songs about the man or killing all these people? Like I can make the art, but maybe to like get it out or like present it. It's nice to see somebody that you know do it.
Yeah, you guys feed off each other.
And I hope that like I can be that for my friends. Like that's why I try to bring everyone in on it. I was like, you know, we can do it for you too. If you have a song, like let us help you. You know, I'm more inclined to help people like write now. You know, like I want to help people write. Like I want to help people make songs. Like they think that I can help them. Like that's an interesting thing to me. It might be more interesting than my own music right now. You know, like that will come. I'm not worried about it. But like an opportunity to really like work with somebody and just like let them into my process and them let like they let me into their process. Like we both can learn things, you know, and like Mac's process and my process are now more intertwined than it ever been. And it's a beautiful thing, you know. I feel like I know him better. I feel like I know how he feels.
What's the difference in you guys' process, how you make things?
I just feel like Mac sort of is more in tune with the whole feeling of it all, like the vibe of it all, and has sound judgment in an unspoken way that I understand. but sometimes hard for me to relay it to him in words. So I feel like we meet in music, and when he kind of comes in with an idea, it's easy for me to write to. And maybe it's not because I'm like some wonderful writer. Maybe it's just because he's meeting me halfway, you know? And it makes it easy for me, where it seems like magic. It seems like I could do this all the time, you know? But I think that I'd be foolish to think that, you know? I think that there's lots of years of, you know, jamming and talking and going to shows, you know, and sitting in a car in a parking lot and talking about a show, you know? Like, so much of this beforehand was like us going to see shows. Like, we used to go see, you know, Dead and Company and watch fucking Bob Weir and sit in parking lots and talk about shows. And, you know, I was like, that was Mac's thing. And I loved going with him because I could see him open up there. And then that stuff kind of like started to fade, you know? And then I remember talking to him, I was like, well, we don't have to worry about it fading. Like, we have each other. And we don't need to go to any shows anymore. Like, we'll do it ourselves, and it'll be more meaningful because it will come from us, you know? But that was just like the first lesson and all, you know? And the next lesson is doing it yourself, and there's another lesson on bringing people along, you know? And then all the rest of it is just, you know, it's gravy at that point. I think you get all the meaning halfway through.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, it's pretty perfect. I don't know. I think where words are lost on me, he fills that gap, and I think when, like we were talking about before, when songs are created and things are on paper, there's really great bones. Like, and it's easy for me to be like, I feel like this is what it could be. You know what I mean? And for Tyler, there's so many great fucking ideas all the time, you know, that are happening. And it just takes a little bit of focus. And if it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else to kind of provide that. But I think our history is just so fucking deep and easy. Like, we've seen some shit, you know, together. So we don't necessarily have to say things a lot. And I think that's what's cool about it. And we keep each other honest, man. And we're always learning. And I think that's kind of where we're at. It's just been kind of cool how, you know, things have come together the way they have, the way they sound, you know what I mean? Like, some of the stuff that we would make early on, man, like early on voice memos, it was just like, we listened to it 18
goofy, so
long,
goofy.
just like funny stuff. And then we were
a lot of it was comedy, you know, like it's easy to do comedy earlier.
You're right, yeah, like.
Hey, make people laugh, you know, guitar was that for so long, just like, let's say stupid stuff, because it's hard to talk about how we feel. I know that I have seen your face around these parts a time ago, but I was sure you never looked my way. Now I sit here in Paris bar where I would drink when I was young and wonder what I sold for monthly pay. What's changed? About the sun just after morning wake, the diamonds where we played a game I utter disregard for the pennant race. And I hope she has the time to paint a picture twice as large as any song I sing. For those none to say, 'cause I know she'll raise them up for less than living wage. What's changed? Oh, what's changed? Now what's changed about the radio and songs that they sang? What's changed about the radio and songs that they play? What's changed? What's changed? And I hope she has the time to paint a picture twice as large as any song I've sang. For those, 'cause I know she'll raise them up for less than living wage. What's changed? What's changed? What's changed? try to like understand that it's hard to make stuff.
Yeah.
So I try, but I think everyone innately thinks like, sometimes like, oh, that's garbage. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like things come across dishonest, but who's to say in a couple of years I wouldn't feel differently about it, Sure. Who's to say people aren't looking at me and be like, he's full of shit, like I very well might be. And, it's my life, so I'm gonna be full of shit if that's unfortunately where I'm at right now, maybe I'll realize that I'll know better, but right now it feels like the right thing to say, and that's all I can do. Like I can only do what I feel like. I can't just like sit in the corner and not say anything forever. Like I need to like maybe like the back and forth on how it's received helps me refine my opinion of the world. Like,
do you have any final things you want to say like about the new album or anything? We've got some great bits for the conversation.
I think as it relates to the at least I tried. I think it really is just that, we just tried to make something that we liked to listen to that was good for us, and at the end of it I found a lot of value in it, and I think Mac found a lot of value in it. I think we hope that people enjoy it, and I really hope that people reach out, I like talking about it, and not in a way of like I love this, but more like let's talk about these things, or let's, how can I be a help to you, and how can you help me, sort of thing, Like, I love randomly seeing people want to contribute, my dream of it is just like people being like, can I help you? Can I make art for it? Can I do something to inspire you? Sun goes up, sun goes down, the river runs from town to town. Take time to look around and realize time is passing now. And I was only young for just a while. Now I'm older than I am. Thought I gave up on these dreams, but now I'm having them again. Oh yes, I'm having them again. Having them again. Having them again. And now that I see it clear, I'll slowly start to disappear. My friends may drink a beer and realize I was never here for them, and they were only just beginning the rest of their damn lives. I took a look down at my watch and realized I better get on with mine. I'm gonna get on with mine. I'm gonna get on with mine. On with mine. God bless the yellow brick road that I don't know what I don't know. Came here for streets of gold to realize they're just twice as cold as you and me, trying to find an answer when we knew it was the end. No, I won't let those days go, won't be going back again. I won't be going back again. I won't be going back again. Going back again. I'm having them again. Oh yes, I'm having them again. Having them again. Thank you for You make me cry, I make you cry. That's the deal. Right? Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me annoy you guys. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Thank you guys. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think we both, that's kind of our motto is always like, is it gonna be fun? Like, let's go to Paris. Like, let's see Chef PJ. Shout out Chef PJ. No shame in plugging Pierre Jean from Le Petit Moulin. But is it gonna be fun? You know, and that's our motto. And like, that's just all we're gonna keep doing. No matter whatever this becomes, it's just like fucking have fun.
Yeah, I kept asking him yesterday. I was like, does it feel the way that the song
It does, bro.
sounded? Like, you know, did it do a good job? Did it sound like the songs? He was like, I think you did a decent job. You know.
Hell yeah. It's cool. It's like you're like traveling through not time, but just like space to understand where these were created. And by the way, we're sitting in Tyler's bed where he slept overnight here. So we're in where you slept at the Petit Moulin. But now I believe it, and it's honestly cozy, man. I like
And
it.
BJ waited for me. I woke up and he was down there.
It's
He
cozy.
gave me a croissant and an espresso. I was on my way.
And he didn't sleep. He was awake.
And then
He carried
I
on
listened to the
through.
organ. That was a big reason we put the organ on the record. I came back. I was at Notre Dame, and I was like looking up at the organ. You know, and I had this like kind of like, I was raised Catholic, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that I'm like necessarily very religious anymore. But it was this weird like. It was this weird like come to God thing again, which is weird. But it felt like more mature for me, and felt more like I had an understanding of it, like that there was something else, and it was nice. And I think that was a large part of the record. It was cool. And Paris is a beautiful place.
It is.
Very special to me, and like Paris like helped me write. Like Paris wrote the songs.